Hey guys, welcome back. Looks like we're set up for some Kerbal Space Program today. That is currently loading, so we should be in the game momentarily. Trying to remember where we left off last week. I think we were looking to get to orbit? Question mark? I don't think we've made it to orbit yet. Not entirely sure we've made it out of the atmosphere yet. I don't remember. Zoom. Load. Hope everyone's doing alright today. Alright, what do we got for missions? We currently have one active mission, that's to get to orbit. What do we have for money? 216,000. We've got 27 science, and if I remember right, that's not enough for us to unlock. Yeah, these are all going to be 45 to unlock. So we need to either make some money or make some science or make it to orbit. Oh wait, did we upgrade the astronaut complex? I think it's the astronaut complex. No, it's research and development, isn't it? Upgrade astronauts required for off-world EVA surface samples. Nope. Wrong button. That one. Kerbals can only disembark on Kerbin. Kerbals can perform EVAs. Okay, so I have a thought. It's probably not a brilliant thought, but what if we could do science, money, and orbit all in one launch? We'll have to spend that 75,000 to do it, but go back in here. We can have up to 7. We don't do these focused observational surveys. They're a pain. If I'm being honest. Ooh, test heat shield at the launch site. Well, so that could get us a little bit more money. It's not going to be much. I mean, you're only talking 4,700 plus the 18 we get, so 65, a little over 65 altogether. Radio mount. Between 2 and 10 kilometers, between 120 and 270 meters per second. So we could do that one. That gets us almost 32,000. A little bit of science too. So we can have up to 7. So I think I'm going to add this one. Yep, this one. Add it. Yes. What was it? Haul the Terrier into flight above Kerbin. Actually. Oh. Between 210 and 370 meters per second at 12 kilometers. I'm usually doing well over 400 meters per second at 12 kilometers. Now, that Terrier engine might have enough thrust to get it off of to get a small vessel off of the ground and push it to 12 kilometers at 200 meters per second all by itself. That's not the one I want to do. Oh, it's a 0.625 meter. I don't want that one. That one's way too small. I don't have anything to put that on. We might do a separate launch for that one, actually, just to see if the thing can get that high up into the atmosphere. If not, we'll strap a swivel to the back of it, and we'll send that up into the air, and we'll just monitor our speed and manage our speed to maintain in that range until we get to that range, and that'll automatically complete the mission, whether we ever actually fire the Terrier or not. But we'll give it a shot with the Terrier alone, just to see if it has enough thrust to get off the ground. If it does, then it should be able to make it to these windows here. But the TD-12 decoupler orbiting Kerbin, altitude 120 to 130 kilometers, that is easily doable. Gets us 8 science and 84,000, almost 85,000. So we're definitely going to take that one, because we're already going to have that part on our ship, on our rocket, and that altitude is no problem. It shouldn't be a problem. We are still locked in parts and weight and height limits that might be a bit of a problem for us, but definitely going to get that one. And I think we'll go ahead and try this, just see what happens. Like I said, if we can't launch with just the Terrier, then we'll strap another gas tank and a swivel engine on the back of it. So let's do that one first. Let's see what happens here. So we want command pod, we want a parachute on top of it, we want a decoupler underneath it. Nope, on it. Thank you. No, what? Quit it. Snap. Stay. So I lift that up a little bit, and we need a fuel tank. Maybe. Oops. There we go. Maybe 2 of them, and then we'll get that Terrier engine on there. Maybe some little tiny fins. Triple symmetry. Let's look at our thrust to weight. It is less than 1/2. So that's not going to work. What if we just put you on there? Barely 1/2. All right, so that's not going to work. Let's drop that. We got our decoupler there, so we'll just throw one more on here. Decoupling. Oh, yeah. And then a bigger fuel. Oh wait, fuel tank. More fuel tank. And a swivel engine. Put the fins down here. Alright, so this is going to cost us a little over $4,000 to launch. We're not, well, actually, Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do any science. We're gonna shoot up into the air. Yeah, plenty of thrust to get this thing off of the ground. So we're gonna launch up, get up to that altitude window and speed window that we need to be at, and complete this mission. Then we'll probably just burn out our fuel and go from there. So, without further ado, we got the pilot sees probably. Well, no, Jebediah died, didn't he? Did we get him back yet? Bob, Bill. Bob can't really fly. Oh, where's Val? Did we leave her in space? Hold the phone. Yeah, go ahead and save. Tracking station. Do we have somebody in space? We don't have anybody in space. Oh, wait, untitled spacecraft splashed down at Kerbin. Did we just leave her out in the ocean? Oh, sorry, Belle. The drone ship that was supposed to pick you up, yeah, then went the other direction. Sorry you've been out here for a week. Let us go ahead and get you home, shall we? So you can, fly another rocket out over the ocean. But I think the drone ship will be there this time. I'm not making any promises, but I think they'll pick you up. Hey, look at that. We got a little bit more science out of that, too. Science, temperature scan, recovery, crew report. Cool. I'll take a little bit. 4,000, almost 5,000 back. All right. Now let's try this again. Hey, where'd my rocket go? No. You? Contains experimental parts. What experimental parts? This is a stock vanilla game. Alright. Crew. Make sure we put a pilot in there. Oh, there we go. Mark 1 command pod. Oh, we had Bill in there, the engineer. Okay, cool. So parts with crew capacity has Valentina as the pilot. Okay, so go back to build. And this rocket is ready to go. Let's go ahead and clear this. RT flee solid booster and flight over turbine. Oh, right. Okay, cool. So I think we had already been paid the money for that one. We get paid immediately upon mission complete. Messages. What? Go away. And launch. So the notice is just a notice, really. The notification there, the little message that I just read. So that 22.5, we had already been paid that as soon as we completed the objectives of the mission. All right, Val, you ready? We need to get to 12 kilometers, 210 meters per second. Ready? SAS on, throttle up, a little bit more. There we go. 60%, 66%, 65% throttle. We can start scaling that back a little bit because we're not actually looking to make orbit on this. We don't have near enough delta V, which is what delta V is basically your change in motion, change in velocity. and that's represented by these numbers in blue here. And that changes by, you know, the speed that you're, not necessarily the speed that you're going, but the amount of thrust you have versus the amount of weight that you have, all relative. Ooh, we're getting too fast. Get too fast. Too fast. You know, relative to how efficient your engine is. So we're using the swivel engine here, and it's pretty efficient. This is hands down my favorite engine in this game. It is very versatile, and like, look, it got us up to mission complete already on, and that's just this engine. And you know, we weren't even running full bore, but we're gonna run full bore till it runs out now. You want to fire? And this one might actually have enough. I mean, it's not going to get us to orbit, but we can definitely get some distance off of this, I think. All right, we're screaming now. Like, we're pushing, we're getting more resistance off of the atmosphere than we're thrusting through it. And we're still picking up speed. Look at that. I mean, ain't no way we're gonna make orbit or even break atmosphere. We're pushing 31, 33, and we're flat screaming. And I could push it hard, and we could very easily. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, we're not going to break orbit, but we're going to come close. Or not orbit, but atmosphere. Oh, no, we are. We're going to hit space. Look at that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Maybe it is. Yeah, we almost hit 80 kilometers. I thought that should have separated. Why didn't that separate? Decouple. Thank you. And you turn that away. I'm actually fairly impressed with how far that engine got us. If we had launched more vertically, we might have been able to make orbit. It's all good. Our next mission is going to be designed to hit orbit. Obviously, we didn't get the decoupler mission here because we're not going to be orbiting, especially not at 120 kilometers. We're only 78 kilometers up. But next mission is intended to get us to orbit, get us a buttload of science for where we're at in the game. It's really not that much science. Look at that. We're almost at our peak altitude, coming up on 76 kilometers right now. 78.29, 78.3 basically is our ceiling here. And don't need that on the screen anymore. And we are officially in space, fellas. Guys and girls, all y'all. Could you imagine? And I know there are places in the country and in the world where you can look up and that's what you see. I've been city living pretty much my entire life, so I have never actually seen the Milky Way other than in pictures. And I know this is not necessarily the Milky Way, considering this is the Kerbol system, it's not the solar system. And this is Kerbin, this isn't Earth. But they're analogs, right? So they're this is the analog for Earth, and that's the analog for our moon. And the sun is off over on the other side of the planet right now, but it's the Kerbal sun, but it's the analog for our sun. This is very, very much set up like our own solar system. And the other planets are analogs for those same planets in their relative positions to the sun in our own solar system. Alright, we're coming down. We're 73 kilometers up. We'll turn our butt down just a little bit here so that as we start to hit atmosphere, it will self-stabilize. In fact, we'll turn off SAS, as we don't need her fighting the aerodynamic forces that are trying to keep this whole thing stable for us. And we should probably fire some chutes so that we don't hit the ground at some neck-breaking speed of 300 kilometers a second. Or 300 meters per second, sorry. And we're actually at like 1900 meters per second right now, and increasing. But as we hit the atmosphere, the atmospheric pressure will create drag, which will slow us down. And eventually it will slow us down to a point where our chutes are going to be effective, which currently they're not. Right now we're not only moving way too fast, but there's not enough atmosphere up here for the chutes to even deploy. Alright, now we're hitting the top of the denser atmosphere here. And see those heat effects, the re-entry heating. You can see our speed. See, we hit that atmosphere, it is starting to drop. And you notice how our capsule here is perfectly stable, coming back down to the planet. Hey, I bet that's the engine that we just ejected back there. Alright, we're slowing down to a nice, slow, calm, decent speed, 800, 700 meters per second, and continuing to drop, both literally and figuratively. Alright, 400 meters per second, chutes deployed. We're still 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers up, and we're pointing at the moon. Look at that. Anyways, we get down to, I want to say 1,000 meters, 1 kilometer, and that chute will pop, and we will drift ever so calmly down to, looks like we're going to land on the land. We might even get a little bit of science out of this after all. Oh, nope, we're still going to hit water. Oh yeah, definitely water. It's going to blow up. 3 kilometers up. You gonna blow up? 5 kilometers away, I may not even see it. I heard it splash. There go my chutes at a kilometer up. Slows us down to a nice, calm 6 meters per second or so. Even better, down to 5 meters per second. And we're going to speed up time here a little bit, because it takes a little while to drop half a kilometer at 5 meters per second. And slow her down. And be careful with the physics warps while you're on a gravitational body, because that 5 meters per second, while sped up 4 times, is actually moving at 20 meters per second. You're not only speeding up time, but you're speeding up physics in the game. So 5.5 meters per second at 4 times speed is 22 meters per second, which this capsule cannot withstand. I think it's got an impact rating of 12 meters per second. It doesn't say here. It'll tell you in the build menu. Anyways, where are we? Crew report? No, nothing. Alright. Told you it would bring home this time, Val. We've got a little bit of science. Suborbital flight. We're up to 40 now. Still not quite enough to grab that next tech, but it's something, right? Alright. Now we build an orbital rocket. So it's probably not going to be all that dissimilar from this. Except between those two things, I would like to have the Science Junior that we unlocked. Well, I mean, yes, we're going to take it, but I also would like this thing. Put that there, because inside this thing we can put some bits. Oop. Alright. Oh yeah, heat shield. Heat shield is important too. Not for science, because that heat shield was way too small. But this one, however, is perfect for our needs. And then in the science thing, we're gonna put. Why are you flipped over? One of you. You two. One of you. And one of you. And you're all coming to space with me. Right? Alright. Then we'll put that bit back. And so this Science Junior thing is really heavy. So I think we were like 2.7 or 2.2 thrust to weight. 2.09. Actually not that bad. Good. But we're going to make it worse because we need more fuel. We're going to add as much fuel as we can on this rocket. No, not there. You know where you're supposed to go. Quit it. We're gonna go. No, and we needed the radial mounts, right? So parachutes, radials, twin mount these. that's one of our missions, right? Radio mount parachute, flight over Kerbin, 2 to 10 kilometers, 120 to 270. So we might actually set those ones as a separate stage. Possibly. But which way? Do we do it earlier or later? I think we do it earlier. And can actually ditch that one because those puppies will be coming with us. And we'll just throw a nose coat on. That's not right. I guess it's coming with us. Fair enough. Okay, what do we got for thrust to weight now with this bad boy? We are way overweight. Way overweight. Why? No, it says I don't have any fuel on this engine. What do you mean I don't have any fuel on this engine? That's more better. 1.4. Can we get away with one more? .3. Alright. So we're not going to pick up speed as fast, but we've got a lot more fuel to get there. And we're going to take a somewhat different trajectory than what we took on the way up with that last rocket. So this one's going to go more vertical. I won't start a gravity turn. Ooh, this is an expensive rocket though. $11,000. It's all right. It's all right. We're more than going to make that up in our mission rewards here. So let us. Terrier is not experimental. And why is it? Oh, because I haven't unlocked it yet. Oh man. It's all right. It's all right. We don't need the Terrier. We really don't need the Terrier. So no, not you. Take that off. We'll take that off. We'll take that and put it there, and we'll get rid of that. So we still got our decoupler up here, right behind the heat shield. We've got our science experiments, which would be nice to bring this equipment back with us and get the money back for it, because this thing's not that cheap, right? 1,800 just by itself. How much is the engine? Just out of curiosity. Swivel engine, 1,200. So this science piece costs more than the engine that's going to get us up there. So it'd be nice to bring that back with us, but we're not at a recoverable stage yet for that. I mean, I could throw more parachutes on and keep it, but it's also not good for this thing to go through re-entry. I don't have a heat shield that's designed to protect all of that. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and launch. We're going to conduct these experiments, hopefully in orbit, and that's going to get us a fair bit of science. Now we got to get up to 120 kilometers. Is that right? 120 minimum to decouple the. I just thought of a problem we might have. This is a lot of rocket to turn, right? And that, you know what? I think let's go back. Let's go back. I think we need more than one stage here. Yeah. Come on. Let's go back to the building. And I think we take that off. We put another one of those on it. And we put another one of those. Alright, how's our little thrust to weight? Oh, quit it. No. Add. That separates there. We want you down here. Right, so we fire this. After all of that fuel's burned up, that engine will go out. We want to chuck that bit off and fire that engine. Right? That way, once we're up there, we've got a little bit of a lot less mass to turn around to slow us down so that we can re-enter. Re-entry is important for what we're trying to do here. So, without further ado, oh yep, my chutes. Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we now have between them 2,470 meters per second of delta V. I don't know if that's going to be nearly enough. To get us to orbit, honestly. But we'll find out. It's still more rocket than what we had last time, and last time we made it to 78 kilometers before we started coming back down. 78 kilometers is space in Kerbal Space Program. So, fingers crossed, hold your breath. Have faith in Valentina. She can get us there. If anybody can, she can do it. Can't use Jeb. Jeb died. Hopefully Jeb will reincarnate soon. Alright. Are we ready to go? We got a dusk? Dawn? Which way is east? That was east. It looks brighter that way to the west, which means it is dusk. Sunset. Just past sunset. So sunset launch. How about that? SAS on. Throttle set to the max, I guess, just to get us off of the ground. So remember, we're gonna climb considerably more vertically this time. We're gonna have a different flight profile as we ascend. We get up to about 1 kilometer, which hopefully we'll be moving a little over 100 meters a second about that point, and then we'll kind of slowly start to turn into our gravity turn. So there's our kilometer up, and there's our 100 meters per second. Just take slight little tips off to the east. Remember, I believe I mentioned it last week, that an easterly trajectory when you launch is the most fuel efficient because you're already traveling in that direction anyways by the rotation of the planet, its spin on its axis. Alright, so I honestly don't think we're going to make it to orbit here. We're at only 9 kilometers. We're almost out of fuel in our first stage. We've got an apoapsis of about 20 kilometers right now. And we need to be pushing 100 kilometers before this stage really runs out of fuel. And obviously that didn't happen. Now we got a lot less weight here, but we also have a lot less fuel. Slow down the fuel burn here. Try to keep our. Oh no! We're pushing way too hard into the atmosphere. All right, so now we're gonna hit 70 kilometers. I don't think that we're gonna hit orbit though. And if we do, we may not have enough fuel to get back down. We're really, really low on fuel as it is, and we haven't even really started traveling across the horizon yet. Well, we're not going to make orbit anyway, so we'll just push hard. We make it up to 135 kilometers. That is enough. Oh, but it's not orbit. It's not orbit. Dang. Well, we can still do the science, right? Science is important. Open. We'll grab these. Log. Looks like we already did that one, but we'll keep it anyways. Sure. Log. Looks like we got that one already. Keep it anyways. Probably already got this one. Observe. A little bit of science for it. Not all of it, but some. Some is always better than nothing. And then we'll run this one. And this one will get us a fairly decent amount of science. Look at that. 25. 25 science for space near Kerbin. Alright. So, and we'll go ahead and have Val take another crew report. And it could have some value, right? And we're gonna have Val actually go for a walk before we start our descent back into the atmosphere. We're gonna have Val do an EVA. Yes. Keep. And we're gonna have Val grab the crew report out of the cockpit there, just to see where we land when we come back in. Okay, and then Val, let go, and we're gonna come down here. Oop, 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 oop. Fingers on the wrong keys. All right, so controlling a Kerbin or a Kerbal in EVA is you've got your 6 axes of direction: forward, back, left, right, up, down, right? Oh, no, open. Oh, did I take the data? Uh-oh. Did I break it? Anyways, whatever direction you have the camera facing is the direction that the Kerbol orients relative to your perspective on the camera, to a certain degree, right? All right. Take data. Nope. Okay. No. Good. Got it. Take data. Collect data. And nope. Take data. All right, Val. Let's get back aboard here. Grab and board. All right, we're going to be coming back down eventually. So we've got everything here that we need. So we'll just say bye-bye to all of this extra weight back here. And we'll reorient ourselves to the way we're going. Put SS back on so when you get out of your vessel. Oh wow, we really reoriented that thing by bumping into it. When you get out of your vessel, it turns off SAS. Alright, so our chutes have not been activated yet. And which one? None of them. So why do I have 2? Oh, a milestone. God, oh, because we did an EVA, a spacewalk. Oh. Poor Val, sitting in the dark. No lights. Lights. There we go. Can't see in there, but you know. At least she's not sitting in the dark, on the dark side of the planet. Don't see the sun. Although, it may be high enough up. No, we'll see the sunrise before we come down. Not 100% certain, but it looks like we might be seeing the beginnings of some sun rays right there on the mountains. Try to stay somewhat oriented into the wind here. We're going to be hitting the atmosphere pretty hard, pretty quick. Alright, so why didn't we make orbit? Essentially not enough gas for the rocket that we had. And we can't really do anything about that. It's the biggest gas tanks we had. So what do? How do we turn this struggle into a victory and get this thing into orbit? I'll have to look and see what we got. All right, so this one, radial mount, 2,000 to 10,000 meters, 120 to 270 meters per second. So this is gonna be kind of a timing challenge. Oh, look at that. Those parachutes are getting hit. They're actually catching. You can see the flame catching on the side of them. Not so much anymore. There's so much flame coming off of it. I think we'll be alright. Alright. Let's get this up here. See when all of those check marks have been checked. Then we've completed the mission, or we can fire the parachutes and complete the mission. So we have to activate through the staging sequence, as said, when all test conditions have been met. So we're about to drop below the 270 meters per second. And be below 10 kilometers. Bam. Alright, so we didn't get orbit. That's okay. Didn't get to test the decoupler in orbit because we didn't hit orbit. That's okay. We still got the parachute. That'll get us a little bit of money. We got a little bit of science. That'll be enough to unlock some more parts, which will help us achieve orbit, actually. Anyway, once we get to orbit, that's when the money starts. That's where the science really starts really picking up and having a better return. Is once we can get, not necessarily to orbit. Orbit is the first step. Once we can get to the moon, and then to the other moon, Minmus, and then start completing missions to other planets and their moons. All right, we're moving at a screaming 3.5 meters per second, and we're still 3/4 of a kilometer up. Physics warp, please. Yeah, 3.5 meters a second. I'm still, at 4 meters, or 4 times 3.5 meters per second. That's what, 14 meters per second, basically, that I am traveling right now. Which we didn't check the impact tolerance of this command pod, but pretty sure that even 14 would be too much for it. But we do have a heat shield underneath it as well, so that would help with some of that impact tolerance. Not entirely sure how long I'm going to go tonight. Been going for about an hour. I might do maybe another hour, depending on where we're at. I don't like to leave things undone, but at the same time, I can't stay up all night. I got to go to work in the morning. All right, let's recover Valentina. And she's still a little upset for being left in the ocean for a week. Said she felt like a pickle in a jar. All right, so we got another 23 science out of that. Would put us up to 67. That is more than enough to unlock our next tech. We just have to figure out which one we're going to get. And get 1,500 out of an $11,000 rocket. Okay. Val's ready for her next assignment. All right, so first and foremost, let's look and see what we got here. So we have flight control, and stability and survivability gives us more flight or control surface options. It gives us a reaction wheel, which what this does is it provides rotational torque so that the vessel doesn't have to rely just on the engine to swing it around. Aviation. This is all the airplane stuff. General construction. This gives us the launch enhancer, stabilizers, the launch mount, clamps, assembly setup thing, a bigger decoupler, an even bigger decoupler. So the one we're using right now is 1.25 meter. This is a 1.8 meter. This is a 2.5 meter. It gives us struts, which as you transition from different sizes, different size diameter rocket fuselage parts, the struts hold everything together and in line. Advanced rocketry, that gets us the Terrier. It also gets us the Thud engine, which is relatively powerful for its size. I actually like those ones a lot. It also gets us a bigger fuel tank and star shots, so the fireworks, I don't really care about those. Fuel tank adapters, and our first next diameter, so the 1.8 meter diameter tanks here. But it doesn't give us any 1.8 diameter engines. Those will come with heavy rocketry or propulsion. Well, I think it's the heavy rocketry. So these are going to be our bigger round engines, and then bigger solid rocket SRBs. But we're not there yet. We can't get that. We can get this, which again gives us more engine options and more fuel options, or at least a little bit more fuel options, which will help get us to orbit. Because remember, this engine is a whole lot more fuel efficient than the swivel is that we're currently kind of locked to. Again, don't get me wrong, I love the swivel engine. It is my favorite and probably the most versatile engine that's available in vanilla Kerbal. But I think we're going to go ahead and go with advanced rocketry here, because I want these three parts specifically here right now. We got to get to orbit, and we pretty much got to do it on this launch here. So with that said, we're going to zoom back in here, find that decoupler, which is here. We'll take this engine off. We'll put this engine back on. We'll put that back on. Now leave that. Take the fuel tank. Actually, we have better fuel tanks now. So, let us take the engine, fuel tanks, pitch. And we'll get the next one up, which is, oddly enough, exactly. No, up. Exactly 2. Not gonna do it already. Of the other fuel tanks. So we're gonna reduce our parts assemblies here. No, this one. You're gonna do it anyways. Fine. All right, and let's just do this. Bam. Bam. I'm gonna have to move you up a bit and probably zoom out a bit. Right, so we have 2, 4, 6 basically. It's 2, 4, 6. So we have the exact same amount of fuel here. So we should have essentially the same fuel. Gimme. Symmetry. Triple symmetry, right? So this should have us exactly the same amount of fuel. So let's check our thrust to weight. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? All right. So you and you. Probably gonna pop those puppies off and just do this. So that fires the swivel. When the swivel's fuel reserves run out, actually, we don't have 6 there, we only have 4. Let's get rid of this mess. Swivel, once the swivel fuel reserves run out, it pops that connector and fires the Terrier. Terrier fuel runs out, it pops that connector and fires the chutes at the same time. Now the chutes they don't actually fire at that point, they will arm, and then once they hit the appropriate conditions they will fire. And then let's check our thrust to weight. It should be 1.35. It's actually a little bit better than it was the last round for some reason. What happens here? We have 1.14. That's it. That is our limit. We cannot go any bigger than that. Now, the question is, do I want to move more fuel forward? I think the answer is yes. Move you. Move you. No. Don't do that. Alright. I think we're still within our parts limit. If we are, it's barely. Actually, not doing horrible. Not doing horrible. This gives me the terrible idea of trying to launch this thing with SRBs attached to the sides. Because I could. I've got the room for it. Just pop these puppies right between. Downside is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. have the nose cones for them. And that's going to that'll put us right at the limit for parts, which is okay. We'll make it. Right? I don't have any struts. And these puppies are powerful. There's a distinct possibility that they will break my rocket. A very distinct possibility that they will break my rocket. It's okay. It's okay. So that changes our staging here a little bit. So we got 29 out of 30, or 38 of 140 tons. We're okay there. Height, weight, width, length, all good, all good. Thrust to weight is 2.01 with just these puppies, right? So like I said, we're going to change our staging a bit. So we're going to fire these three at a 2.01. Those are going to get us a fair distance off the ground. And then when those puppies fire or expire, I guess, when they exhaust themselves, we're going to pop them off, because we don't want to carry all that weight up to space. That's dead weight. We don't want to carry it with us. It slows us down. It's dragging us down, literally. But when those pop, we want this engine to fire at the same time. There's no loss in momentum between these shutting off and that one starting. It's almost immediate. As soon as I pop those engines off, that one will light up. And we're going to do the same thing up here, which I've already got it set up that way. So these engines go, and then that decoupler will pop and ignite that engine at the same time. And then once we get up to space and we get that orbital trajectory, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. When we hit that orbital trajectory, then we'll turn around. Maybe do a little bit more science. We'll slow down so that we are set on a re-entry course, and we'll fire that last decoupler there and arm the parachute at the same time. So let us try to actually achieve orbit and hope that these SRBs don't just launch right off the side of my rocket when I launch, or worse, blast into the side of my rocket when I launch. Alright, we are full dark now. Nice. Alright, so we're going to try to achieve more or less the same flight path or trajectory that we were working on the last launch. So we're going to try to get up to about 1 kilometer, and then we'll slowly start tipping towards our easterly direction. Now, difference here is we don't really have that control at launch here, because I'm only firing the solid rocket boosters. So those are basically one and done, and they don't give me any attitude control whatsoever. I can use the swivel to do it, but I would have to put it on the same stage, and I guess I could do that. In fact, I think maybe I will, and I just won't turn it on unless I absolutely need it, so that we save that core fuel as our sustainer burn to get us to space and to orbit. Now we move some of that fuel up above the decoupler to use on the Terrier. Remember, that Terrier engine is a whole lot more fuel efficient than the swivel is down here. So we'll run out of fuel sooner here, but we have more for when we're in the vacuum of space, which is going to be a good thing for us, I think. So without further ado, let us launch. Alright, good news. SRBs did not rip off the side of the rocket. And actually, I do have a little bit of attitude control here. It's not a lot, and I'm losing it as the faster we go. I gotta be careful, because once those SRBs burn out, I need to pop them and get rid of them as soon as I possibly can. Which means I need to turn up the swivel a little bit here. Aye. Alright, we're going to slow down a little bit here. That's okay. Because we really need to start pushing. Oh, not that much, not that much. Come on, bring that prograde marker this way. Alright, we're gonna pick up our speed a little bit here. Maybe more. There we go. Now we got some positive speed gain here. That should help. Oh, should help us stay into the wind. We're gonna try to keep our speed relatively low until we're up above about 50 kilometers. Actually, we can probably max it now. I think we're above the worst part of the atmosphere. Pretty much above the worst part of the atmosphere. And we'll start tipping really hard now, because we don't have so much of the aerodynamic effects controlling or impacting us. And remember, we want to get up to 120 kilometers, right? That's where we need to break this piece off. So we're going to get up between 120 and 130. And we're going to cut off power. We're almost traveling due east right now, which is really good. And somehow we have enough attitude control here, even with all this massive rocket, to point ourselves and orient ourselves where we want to go. And we don't have that reaction wheel. Remember, we didn't buy it. So when this prograde marker kind of starts to touch the horizon here, I think that's where I'm going to start burning, because that means that we're getting close to being perfectly horizontal to the planet. Which, I mean, I am perfectly horizontal, but our path currently is not. If we look at the map here, you see this is my path. I started here, and if I don't change my trajectory, I'm going to land right there. Well, as I get to about here, that's where I want to fire the engines and start pushing these connecting points to the planet out. And eventually they will push out far enough that they'll just connect on the other side. Because this is really just a big circle. You can't see the rest of it because it's down inside the planet. Oh, nope, stop. Get back on the horizon. On the horizon. Alright, so we're just about touching there. I'm going to fire up the engines, and hopefully, this number here should go up really slowly, and this number here should drop really quickly. And remember what I said about those lines? See how they're pushing out on both ends? Eventually, they'll push out past the sides of the planet. Can't stage for map mode. Stage. Thank you. Now, we're not going to pick up that speed as quickly with this engine. It's not as powerful, but it burns the fuel so much more efficiently. But yeah, once they get out past the sides of the planet, we will officially be orbital. And we'll be in the right area, 120 kilometers. So we're in, I guess we're not altitude or orbiting at that altitude yet, but we should be really soon. You see, this line is it's in the same spot on the other side of the planet, so right about there. And once they get past about this point, they should just go snap. Well, no, maybe not, because this is a trajectory, so you would follow the curvature of the planet, and you could still technically come down right here. Not quite make orbit. Alright, but we're getting there, we're almost there. See, the lines are about to connect. There we are. We are now officially orbital. We're not at our... No. We're pushing too far. Oh, man. We need to slow that down. Dang it. Alright, so turn this puppy around. Just a little bit. We just got to bring it down below 130,000 meters, right? So do that. Now it means that our Perry dropped back below orbit, but that's okay because we can flip back around, and as we get closer to that mark, we may have already passed it actually. It's alright. We got to get that up above 70 kilometers. We have to do that. So maybe we do that. Actually, we got to get it above 130 kilometers. Alright, so that gets us orbital. Now what we'll do is we'll make... actually, we're almost completely at our Perry now. So we should turn around. Right? Go back here. We can run this off of this data here. Right, we are currently at 94 and falling, so we get down to about 80 maybe, and we'll fire this, and that will bring this back down to where it should be. And then once we get back up to about that altitude, or the proper altitude, doing 120 and 130, we will fire the other direction and speed ourselves up and push this up to where we want it. We should be able to do all of that in the next full orbit. Val, she looks really, really happy. She's actually orbiting the planet right now. She's the first Kerbal to ever orbit Kerbin. All right, we're at 87, 86. So we'll get down, like I said, to about 80. I don't want to go too low because we're very close to the atmosphere right here. But I don't want to go... It's not too low. That's not the problem. I could go straight all the way down to that 76. That's the lowest we're going to hit if we don't change our trajectory. Because once we hit that 76.3286, we're going to start climbing again, right? And building towards that 200 and 243 kilometers there. So let's do this. No, we're still too far away. Too far away. And we want to be burning up a little bit more than anything anyways. Still changing too much. So let's get down to, say, 78. We have to make sure that our periapsis stays above 70 kilometers, otherwise we're no longer orbital, we're suborbital at that point. We could potentially go down to like 60 and maybe still stay orbital because there's not enough atmosphere to slow us down. Enough to pull us out of orbit. We could probably make a few circles, a few laps around the planet doing it that way and just slowly aero braking before we achieve a point where come on, stay above 70. Nope, that's it. Okay, we're actually okay here. Our apoapsis is at 123. And our periapsis is just barely under 71. But once we get around to the other side of the planet here, we don't even have to change direction because we're already pointing the right direction for what we're going to be doing, which is kind of speeding up on the other side of the planet. We just got to wait till we get there. So I might do a little quick save here. Speed up time a little bit. So we want to get up to about 120 kilometers. We're still dropping at this point, but we're going to start climbing here momentarily. There we go. And as we come around the other side of the planet, you'll see that that prograde marker on my nav ball here. And it's going to be in the exact same spot as the retrograde was on the other side of the planet. And that's where we want to do our burn. That gives us the best chance for pushing up one side without seriously affecting the current side. So I'm going to say right about the time that our nose touches that prograde marker there will be kind of where I want to start us going here. So right about here, right? We are going full bore. We want to get, nope, still not right. We're now back up above 130 on the other side. Let's just quick, easy little burn to keep us down there. Okay, we'll flip back around to the other direction. We might have to make one more pass at this, unfortunately. Maybe not. No, we're still pushing it up. It sucks that I don't have my markers yet. I have to upgrade the tracking station to get the markers to tell me where your peri-apps and your apo-apps are at, and your flight trackers. It's all right. It's all right. We can do this by the numbers alone, and we've achieved all the goals. Actually, we're orbiting. We're at 120 kilometers. We've actually legitimately achieved the goal. So, is that one that I actually have to? Note. Activate the part through the staging sequence when all test conditions are met. Alright, so that's a problem because test conditions won't be met if I have to slow down to a suborbital trajectory or re-entry trajectory. Dang it. Alright, well, crab nuggets. Alright, well, we made orbit at least. We know we can do that part. Should whoa, get back. Alright. Right. There, Miss Valentina, hold her there for me. And then you're gonna do some science. Conduct. And another 25. Keeps. Open. Conduct. Yeah, just in space near Kerbin. Observe. We'll take every little bit we can get, I guess. Which isn't going to be a whole lot, but it's going to be something. Wait, what? What was that? From space just above Kerbin's Highlands. What? Hold the phone. So... keep? Still desert. Still desert. Still desert. Can you look down at the planet, see where I'm at? Oh. Yeah? Yeah, I sure can. It is very much appears to be desert. Mountains. So that's interesting. We actually get an EVA report over each of the different biomes. That is nice. Definitely can deal with that. Back over the deserts. Alright. Have you scoot? Nope. This way. Collect. Nope. Down. Forward. Collect. And come around to the other side here. Get an EVA here. And still desert. Just short little bursts from your EVA jetpack. That's all it takes. Oh. Takes. I'm gonna work our way back around to the other side of the pod. Turbines water. Apparently we've already got that report. And store EVA water over the ocean. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, we got a fair bit. Got 8 a few times, 25 out of the science thing. Let's turn ourselves around, or they don't even need to turn ourselves around. We're already pointing in the right direction. And we'll burn up our fuel and hope. Actually, we'll let the fuel go. Yeah, you didn't give it to me because I had to drop below orbit. Alright, cool. Well, we're coming up to our apoapsis right now, and we'll start coming back down. We fired all of our stages, so nothing left to do but to sit back and enjoy the ride. We're gonna pick up the pace a bit though. And we are now in atmosphere. I should probably reorient to the proper direction here. Position it just a little bit above here. Turn SS off. Stop it. No. Stop it. What are you doing? You have to stay in the wind. Why? There you go. That's how you do it. And eventually she'll stabilize. We'll start slowing down. Not quite seeing the heating effects yet, but it looks like that heat shield might be getting a little warm. Kind of starting to glow a little bit. A little orange. Or maybe the sun was just coming up. And we're still, 62 kilometers up, so not much atmosphere up here to warm things up, if you would. All right, so we made orbit, but we didn't get to complete the decoupler contract because we only had the one left, and had to slow down to re-enter, which broke our orbital path and therefore no longer orbit, and we weren't able to meet that parameter of the mission. But we'll get a buttload of money. We'll get a buttload of science that we'll be able to take and make some more advancements with. Because now that we've hit orbit, oh, can't see it. Can't see it. Now that we've hit orbit, the moon is our next objective. Probably. Might be Minmus. It's further out, but it is so much easier to land on. There's almost no gravity on Minmus, but there's enough to keep you pointing down or pulling down. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There I am. 55 kilometers. We're still a fair way up. So if that gives you any indication of how long it takes to safely re-enter the atmosphere, I think the astronauts they actually, when they re-enter Earth's atmosphere or are returning to the surface from a space mission, I think they traverse from the time that they really start feeling atmospheric effects to the time that they actually hit the planet. They've traversed something like 3/4 of the circumference of their orbital path. I mean, you're screaming when you're re-entering. You are just hauling ass. But again, you're coming from hauling ass, falling and missing. That's what orbit is. I mean, you're just falling and missing. Oh, here come the heating effects. Gonna get toasty. Really, really light because we're still in virtually no atmosphere. There's enough. It's something that we're compressing that air and igniting it into plasma, but it's not much. But you see, we're starting to bleed off some speed. 2273, 2272, 2271, 70, 69, and that'll pick up the deeper into the atmosphere we go, and the speed at which we reduce our speed, decelerate, it increases until we hit a certain point. And, it's called terminal velocity, but which is the fastest that a mass can be going given resistance. Speed this up a bit. Taking a little while. Looks like I might have time for maybe one more mission before I call it a night. Alright, we are full on screaming through the atmosphere. We are a ballistic fireball. And now we are just a ballistic projectile. Alright, there go the chutes. We slow it down when we get to about 1.5 kilometers, so that the chutes don't rip off due to physics. Oh wait, I'm gonna make sure we're above land here. Alright. Look at that. Here we got another one. Alright, and then I have the EVA, 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 get out! Why is it unavailable? Because I'm in atmosphere? What? Oh, because I was time warped. That's why EVA was unavailable. Dang it. Okay, cool. We'll grab an EVA report here. Giving us a little bit more science. Kerbal grasslands. Keeps. Board. And recover. Come on. You can hear the birds. There we go. 67 science earned on that. 105 total. We can technically, I think we had 2 other science modules or research modules that we could collect at that 45 science cost. We could technically do both of those with the science that we currently have. 105, but it's enough to get a 45 and another 45, which is only 90. So good deal of science there. Happy about that. Only got $300 from our money that we spent, but look at where we're at now. We were below, I think we're at about 190,000 when we launched that rocket. We're now at 332. And this Valentina, she has actually advanced to the next level, which poor Jeb, he did not. Alas. Rest his soul. I wonder if he's available yet. Jeb. Jeb's back. Jeb's back. Alright. And we'll clear out our mailbox down here. Contract complete. Liquid fuel and Terrier. That's 16 grand for that. And a couple science. We got 12, 24, 24. It's 48, 36 for doing a spacewalk in orbit, entering orbit, and returning from orbit. So 48, 60,000. 60 grand just for that. And another 22.5 for the parachutes. That was previous mission though, right? Orbit Kerbal, 48 plus 6 science, right? Nice. Another orbit, 31 plus 6 science. So what is 70, basically 80 kilometer, 80,000, 80 grand contributed to that from reaching orbit. Not bad at all, right? So, what's next? Well, we've got some options. I think I'm going to decline all these focused observations. Ooh, that one's in a very specific spot. Oh. I mean, there's decent money, right? I get 27, almost 28 up front. I get another 21.6 for completing the 3 objectives, and then another 51 at the end to or for actually completing the entire mission. Ferry tourists. Bleh. Those pay a fair bit of money too. This is, you know, rich people that want to go to space, suborbital space flight. That's it. That's all they want. I'm gonna pay you 13 grand a piece to take them basically Blue Origin. That's heat shielded launch site, so maybe that one's activate. Don't want to do that. Activate the engine. Test the. Maybe we'll get this one. Oops. We're just kind of padding our bank account right now. That's all we're doing. And we'll get that one. And we'll get that one. Because these are all landed at Kerbal, which can be done all at the launch site. This one unfortunately, well, actually, you know what? We're going to build the weirdest looking little rocket you ever saw. Alright, that's it. That's all of them for this. We'll come back here in a minute, but we're gonna go. We're gonna. Oh no! What did I just agree to do? Active. Landed. T. What did I pick up? Seriously, what did I pick up? Anyways, yes, we're gonna build the weirdest little rocket you ever saw, and we're going to well, I don't need to shoot on it. What I need is heat shield, thermal 0.625, and we're gonna just slap that puppy right on the top because it's a perfect fit. Why not? Turn it over, make it a little hat. See? Right? And then underneath that, what else did we need? So we need the kickback, we got that. We need a swivel. Wait, where'd the swivel go? Hold the phone. Save. I thought there was one for testing the swivel at the... Nope. Mission control. Did I delete it? Oh. Oh. Oh, that hurts my brain. Man, and it's not a lot of money, but grr. Alright, well. So we got that. What else do we need? TD-18. and a kickback. So decoupler, TD18. It's big, that's okay. Kickback, that is the kickback, right? Or is that the, no, that's the kickback. Oh. Okay, big boy. Big boy. But and then you will just take all your fuel. Get that. We'll get a couple of them knocked out at any rate. Hopefully that decoupler doesn't launch this thing too high. Technically, it shouldn't launch it at all. It's a ring. That should fire and either push up or push down. But it's designed to push this up. It is. Damn. Alright, well, that's cool. And these are both activate parts. Well, that one's a test. I'm going to do that first. Got that. Right? And then this one, activate through staging sequence. This one, activate through the staging sequence. It's alright. So we're going to activate the booster. Then we're going to activate the decoupler. Well, that's weird. And we're just going to recover it all. Although I think it leaves that kickback sitting on the launch pad. But we got it all, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Let's see if the tracking station is picking any of that stuff up. Tracked objects. Toggle debris. Let's recover some stuff. I'm pretty sure we can get some money for recovering some of this stuff. Untitled spacecraft. Splashdown. Nope. Not fly. Can I recover? Can recover. Look at that. The whole science bit's still there. And an engine. Look at that. This is the engine, right? No? No, it's just a fuel tank. Engine looks like it broke off. But, dang. What do I got for money? Money. Alright, 356, 255. I think it did get something back. 356, 255, right? $359, $983. We got more monies. Sweet. Recover you. Yes. And we can't recover you because you are the piece of junk that's floating in space, right? Oh. Oh, right. The moon's axis is normal. Minmus's axis is somewhat or its orbit is somewhat tilted relative to ours. Alright, so got a little bit more money, got a little bit more science. What do we do with it? Do we want to upgrade the launch pad? Upgrade the launch pad, we get it cost us 282, but Mexel's we're already upgraded there. What about here? Here hasn't been upgraded, so we could upgrade this, but it would take 2/3 of our money, give us more parts. And upgrade here. No, we can't. Good Lord. Okay, we can upgrade here for 150. It's a little under half. That gives us patch conics, which will also show us kind of our periapsis, apoapsis, relative time to each, etc., etc. Things along that line showing in our map view while we're in mission. So maybe we do that. As much as I want the money to do this one, I think this will be really, really helpful. And then we'll go back to our mission control here. What do we got? More focused observationals. Mark II drogue shoots in flight over Kerbin. 4 to 8 kilometers? Really? You gave me 2 to 10 for the regular shoots. And 50 meters. The drogue shoots are supposed to slow you down for your regular shoots to open. Splashdown. TD-18 at the launch site. I just tested the TD-18 at the launch site. Literally just. Liquid fuel poodle at the launch site. 1.25 decoupler heat shield at the launch site, or landed at Kerbin, which works from a launch site. Get off my screen. TD-18 poodle heat shield. I mean, I technically could. I mean, free money, right? May not be much money, but every little bit helps. So let's do a little wonky science here. We're gonna grab us a pod, and underneath that pod, we're going to put a heat shield. That's the right one. No, it's not the right one. 1.25. That's the one I need. And underneath that heat shield, we're going to put just the liquid poodle, or the liquid engine, right? The poodle liquid. TD-18 poodle heat shield, yeah. Our engines, poodle. We'll just put right there. Oh wait, we didn't put our TD-18 on there. Coupler, TD-18, put you, then put you, and launch. We got our poodle, we got our decoupler, we got our heat shield. It's 1, 2, 3 different items. So we'll just launch. And recover. Quick, fast, easy, free money. Wasn't much, but it was something, right? 935 from recovered parts. Total of 225 now. Alright. So, with that said, we need to go to the moon. Now we may end up getting some other missions for putting satellites up and things along that line, but in order to do that, we have to spend science. So we can buy a couple parts here. Oh, we have 3 left here. So flight control, like I said, it gives us the reaction wheel, sets of bigger control surfaces or fins, stabilizers. Can't remember. Oh, equipped with movable pivots, which allow them to swivel and act as control surfaces. These ones have a small control surface at the tip of the wing there. And then you got the reaction wheel, right? We got our general construction stuff, which will get us the struts. And the struts are a really good thing. And it also gets us the crew cabin. But that is more for... well, no, I think it does work on our rockets as well. I don't remember. We could also look at some of these, because we can get some of these. Got heavy rocketry, which is the bigger engines, right? Pollux is massive. I think it's the biggest one in the game for SRBs. Propulsion systems. So that gives us really small vacuum engine. It's meant for like satellites and things like that. Liquid fuel ant engine, again, very small. It's not meant for much. Little external fuel tanks. Oscar fuel tank, that one's also meant for like small satellites. Monopropellant tank. Monopropellant is the inert gas that they use to rotate spacecraft. It's what's used in the jetpacks that they use in EVA. The fuel systems, this is where it kind of gets interesting, because all of this is fuel related, every bit of it. These are all different fuel tanks adapters, fuel drain valve, and then one of the most crucial parts to a successful, what are they called, asparagus staging, is these fuel ducts. These are super important for transferring fuel. So that one is really high on my priority list. But I also want to start delving into some of the stuff down here. Now these whole thing, each one of these is going to cost us 90. So if we get one of these, it's the only one we're getting right now. But we've got the experiment control station, which we'll need when we get to the moon. That will, if I remember right, passively collect us science from the moon and can transmit that science back to us on the planet. Work lamps, not worried about. Ladders, those are going to be helpful. The hitchhiker storage container, that allows you to bring more than one Kerbol, even if your command pod only has space for one Kerbol. Conformal storage units, these are things that you can slap on the outside of your rocket, that are aerodynamically designed so that they have the least amount of drag possible because you slapped it on the side of your rocket, right? EVA repair kits, important for your engineers to be able to fix things sometimes. And another cargo storage unit. So these things, not really what I'm after yet. We got miniaturization, which gives us an EVA experiment kit. Stack separators, which differ from decouplers in that the explosive separation is pushed in both directions, vertically, so up and down on your rocket stack, whereas decouplers only push one direction. An adapter for FLT based fuselages. I'm not sure what that is, not gonna lie. FLA10 adapter, docking port, and the ED monitor. also know what I'm looking for. We go down here to electrics, the Probidobodyne Octo. That is what I was looking for here. That is a command core. So basically that gives you the ability to send rockets to space for specific purposes. And there it allows you to be unmanned rockets, meaning you can send something up to space. This is where satellites come from. And we can get a lot of money from companies paying us to put satellites in space. Sounds like somebody else right now, which is fine. And then we've got some flight lights. We've got our solar panels that we're going to put on the ground where we go. Moon, Mars. These power our science experiments while we're on the ground. Got a battery here. That's going to be important for our longer missions. And solar panels for the outside of the rocket. Also going to be important for our missions. For our longer missions. Because as you spend more time in space, you're using more energy. You have to have that energy coming from somewhere and potentially being stored somewhere in order for you to be able to have access to it. So that's the one I'm going to go with. It gets me that octo-core, and I'd almost be willing to bet, because we bought that, we also now have some satellite missions. Call me a liar. Yeah, I could get another 26,000 Kerbal bucks for just going up to space and doing an experiment. Doesn't matter what the experiment is. It doesn't have to even be in orbit. It just has to be above 70 kilometers. And it doesn't have to be one that can get us science in and of itself. So it can be one that we've done 100 times. And so that one's kind of a given. Kind of need to do that one. Right. This says explore the moon. Today is your lucky day. Simply head to the moon and pass it by. Easy as pie. No risk at all. Now sign this waiver. All they want us to do is a flyby of the moon, right? Flyby of the moon. 80,000 plus 5 science. Gather scientific data from the moon. It doesn't say from orbit of the moon. It says from the moon. Which kind of implies that they want us to land on the moon. But we're going to go ahead and accept that one. Yeah. We're going to get rid of that one. We're going to get rid of that one. We might start looking into those. Haul Rovemax Model S2 into flight above Kerbin. Position satellite in polar orbit. Right there. There's one. So as a consequence, somewhat worse than average accident. At Rokia, we've been forced to look for some outside help. To test out some of our more advanced theories, we need more debris in low orbit. Now we need your help. More debris in low orbit. Build a satellite to our specs and deploy it into a polar orbit around Kerbin. Must be a new unmanned probe built for Rokia after the contract is accepted. Orbit specifics 10 million meters, so that's 10,000 kilometers. At the Apo, 9 million meters, so 9,000 kilometers at the Peri, with an inclination of 90 degrees. That puts us on a polar orbit. We're traveling north when we leave. Longitude of ascending node is 138 degrees, and argument of periaps is 287.4 degrees. So that basically just says where does our flight path take us as we travel north and south. Has to have an antenna, can generate power, must be fully assembled when launched. Reach a designated polar orbit around Kerbin within reasonable deviation, maintain stability for 10 seconds. And they will pay us about 125,000 Kerbal bucks to do that. Including the advance that we get from it. We're going to accept that mission. I don't see any reason why we can't do it. And we're back over 300,000. Let's see. 140 tons. I think this is our bottleneck right now. So we're going to upgrade this so we can get more parts. We've already got our patch conics. 563 to upgrade again. This one, flight planning. That's the only thing that changes by upgrading that one again is how many max or active contracts you can have. R&D we can't do. It's 450,000 to upgrade. Astronaut complex, nothing that we really need to do there. Spaceplane hangar, we're not building space planes, at least not yet, so we're not going to upgrade that. But that dropped us down to 86,000, almost 87,000, to build a rocket to go to the moon, which is apparently not in the Kerbin sky, unless it's straight above me and I can't look up. That's as far as I go. But all of that we're going to save for next week. Actually, I may not be here next week. I've got family in town and I'm going to take some time to spend with them. So my streams over the next week are going to be kind of hit and miss. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Empyrean. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be out of town. I'll be back Sunday night, maybe have some time for something. And then, again, family in town next week, so I will be spending time with them. I will be back on periodically throughout the week. Before I go, we're going to go through our mail here, make sure we clean all that up. Got our mission complete for the 0.625 meter heat shield. $4,000 for that, almost $5,000. $8,000 for the kickback solid booster. Contract complete for the TD8 or TD18, another 4,800. The Poodle, another 4,900. TD18 again, another 4,700. And that is it. We are cleaned up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, so hit that subscribe button too. If those two things will help me climb the YouTube charts, hopefully with enough views. So at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very, very much for joining me tonight, and hopefully I will see you next time. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.